So anger is a secondary emotion that we use to hide our primary emotion. In today's tutorial, we're going to go over the angry iceberg activity, and we're going to just use that to see where some of these emotions are coming from. And I'm going to show you a little trick that I did. If you want to see this week's tutorial on the paper mache canvas iceberg and creating the angry iceberg activity, keep on watching. So I have this canvas here because I wanted us to create a paper mache canvas iceberg, and this is from the anger iceberg activity, where it's allowing you to really look at some of the feelings that you're having. And if you don't know anything about the anger iceberg, it's just showing you how on top of the surface, which is when people come in contact with you, sometimes when we're going through stuff, we're actually putting up a front. Because down deep in the water, down inside of us, we have some tipping points that are down there. Anger, we're feeling lost, lonely, sad, upset. So what I want us to do today is, we do have some paper mache clay. Now I've made it a little bit solid so that I'm able to keep it. But as I'm going to use it, I'm going to pull it off and I'm going to put it in a side of a bowl and add more color to it so that it looks more paste-like. And I have red just for anger, so I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use it. So what I want for you to do is think about your life, and right now some of the things that are going in with post-traumatic stress, whether it is that you've had a miscarriage, whether it is that things are not going good right now, we've just come out of the pandemic, there's a lot of stress going on in the world. So I created my line so it just has a little bit of movement for my water. And later on, I'm going to just put little bits of rock pieces that have fallen off. Now what you want to do is, this is what people see. So you can literally put words up here if you'd like people look at you and you look happy, you look confident, you're presentable, you're pleasant. But down here at the bottom, these are where our inner words are going to be. So how did you feel after you had your miscarriage? How did you feel after you lost your job? How do you feel right now with things that are going on? You can either write them in, or you can put the little tag on them. For my anger exercise, if you want to get rid of these bits of anger or issues that you have, you don't want to leave them on a piece of paper in your house. This is the way I think. I don't want to have myself and then that I'm angry, upset, sad, lonely. I want to actually put a seed around them, and so later on that will be a project when we work on self-esteem. So just so you understand, just think about how you're feeling right now. Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling lonely? L-O-N-E. Are you feeling frustrated? Discomforted? Maybe discomfortable. And one of the things with anger is sometimes fear. And I'm going to put fear down here. Feel jealous looking at other people's life, even in your own life, and you're not necessarily enjoying it. You feel ashamed. You get offended, you have the spirit of offense on you. Oops, and dead, ED, sorry. Do you feel helpless, like you can't get out? Do you feel kind of tricked sometimes by people? Are you disgusted with your behavior? And just keep writing on each of these words. So one of the things that I want you to work on with each of these words, there is actually a trigger point for them, because anger sometimes is you're afraid. And so out of your fear, you lash out. quote from the Bible, and it says, "Refrain from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not yourself, it tends only to evil. You, O Lord, are a God merciful and gracious, slow to anger and abounding in steadfast love and faithfulness. Whosoever is slow to anger has great understanding, but he who has a hasty temper exalteth fully." There's a book that I read, it's The Hidden Messages in Water. It's from the author Masaru Amito. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly. And it just talks about what happens when you speak beautifully or empower water. And he forms different crystals, and he shows you that if you don't even have to speak the word, you literally can write the word on a petri dish, and the crystals that form from positive words are very beautiful and elaborate, where the ones that just have even sometimes one word are not as beautiful. They look very disheveled and unattractive. For everyone that's watching, I wanted you to understand that as you write these words down, those words are not to stay. Those words are to be erased and used. You used to feel sad, now you feel happy, and you put happy over it. Now, one of the most beautiful things about using paper mache is that it's stuff that you get to use in your hand, and you're shaping, and you have the opportunity to knead it through in your hands, and you're working out some of that stress. A lot of projects that you create and you do it over a time, an hour to 2 to 3, it's actually allowing you to alleviate some of the stresses that you have in your body. Whenever you're going through trauma, so post-traumatic stress, one of the best things for you to do is have body contact, meaning even if you're doing the paper mache and you're kneading, don't be cooking, because they say don't cook when you're upset, but even as you're kneading it through, you're releasing and allowing stress to come out of your body, and you're flowing that stress, and you're taking that energy and you're putting it into the project that you're making. And that's why you want to reverse what you're created that was sad and make it happy and beautiful. So if you go and put your project on the wall, when you see it, you're not going to remember the trauma. You're remembering the beauty that happened from the trauma. And you're always reminded that something good can come out of something bad. Put it on the ground, it will absorb, and new life will come from there. And so what we want is a medium that as we're creating and kneading it through and placing that nature in our hands, we're speaking out how we're feeling. And then as we turn it around, we're planting down that seed, because we're placing it down, we're creating it, and it will grow something beautiful into the atmosphere. And what we want is, if we're sad, we're happy, right? If we're mad, we're no longer mad. I've included the heart at the bottom of my project because your heart stores everything. Your heart, obviously, you've had it from the time you were created, but your heart is where what you teach certain things. I read a book on prayer, and the gentleman basically said that every time you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, you actually stamp it on your heart. So then, because your heart is where your desire comes from. And if you're stamping, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, then the next time when you do it, you're only going to go so far, and then you'll stop it. So what we want to do is reverse the effect, and we want to encourage our heart that we're no longer sad. We want to encourage our heart that we can do more things. I put the heart at the bottom of my project because my heart is where I'm going to put in love. I'm going to put in singing, dancing. I'm going to put all those joyous and very invoking words at the bottom. And then I have the negative words because the heart will always cover those up. So one of the things that I wanted to do with this piece was do it so it's interchangeable. I want you to look at the canvas once it's done, and you put your negative feelings up at the top. And if you look at mine, you'll notice that my negative feelings are very small. Even when you flip it over, my negative feelings are really small. I don't have that negative energy at the bottom. When you flip it back over, then you see the feelings that I have are at the bottom and my heart is covering it up. So protect your heart, and protect your heart from yourself also. If you wanted me to see any of your projects, I do have my Instagram page where you are able to tag me on any of your projects. And I also have my Facebook page where you can upload different DIY projects. You can check out the link in the description box. Now that you know how to create the paper mache canvas iceberg and write down all of the angry iceberg activities on your project, you can check out this tutorial next on the paper mache Easter bunny. If you like this week's tutorial, make sure you hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and share the content with your family and friends. And also don't forget to leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys next Tuesday, and have a fabulous week.